Hi, welcome to Road Bike Culture. I'm your host, Kevin Isley. Today we're going to talk about the importance of women in cycling. The sport of cycling is booming around the world, and the largest segment of this boom is women in cycling. According to the Bicycle Retailers Association, women make up 45% of avid cyclists. And the definition of an avid cyclist is one who rides 52 times a year or more, or once a week. And this has been in no small part to companies like Rapha, who in their marketing and advertising have shown women riding side by side to men as equals, suffering up the same mountain passes, doing the same things. And this is kind of new to cycling. Cycling's been pretty misogynistic in the past. But then just this week, Pinarello, in launching their ad campaign for their new e-bike, had this as their ad on social media. And the accompanying post said this: "I've always wanted to ride with my boyfriend, but it seemed impossible. Soon, everything will become possible. The countdown has just started." Seriously, Pinarello, this is your ad campaign? When women make up 45% of avid cyclists, you're gonna tell them they're not good enough to ride on your regular bike? But the good thing is, the internet took over and Twitter and Instagram lit up about this ad, calling it sexist, saying they will never buy a Pinarello. Pinarello was chastised, taken through the ringer, and they took the ad down that day. And Pinarello is not alone in creating completely sexist ads. Do you remember the 2015 Colnago ad? Are you ready for your weekend ride? This was a terrible ad. And this is not boding well for these companies because, again, in 2015, the internet got a hold of that. Twitter and Instagram blew up saying how bad of an idea this was for an ad, how they're never gonna buy a Colnago, and they issued a statement which said, "We're sorry." Does this mean things are changing in the marketing industry for sports? Maybe. Assos, the quintessential cycling apparel company, been around since 1976, has always gotten harsh criticism for their portrayal of women with Assos Girl. They have Assos Girl selling bib shorts, wearing only bib shorts. And this isn't selling a product to women, it's selling a product to men. But in 2015, Assos sold a majority of their company to an investment group, and including Phil Duff, former owner of Black Diamond Equipment. Phil Duff has a wife and 3 daughters, and he sits on the board of an all-girls private school. He understands what women go through in the marketing world, and he vowed to change Assos' marketing right away. So their marketing has gone from this to this. This is better. They are showing women as equals in the sport of cycling. This makes more sense just on a human level. I like the direction Phil Duff is taking Assos in their marketing, but this was a necessity. When you have companies like Rapha, Panama Studios, Maap, all showing women as equals in the cycling apparel industry, you have to change or your company will not survive in the modern age. When I knew I was doing this video, I reached out to my friend Dave Velocio. He and his wife, Jenny Vanderlog, own the cycling apparel company Vanderkitten. When I asked him why he got into the cycling apparel industry specifically for women, he said after playing collegiate football, he got into bike racing, and he found that he could get sponsors easier than his women counterparts, even though they had more wins, they were more successful, and basically better racers. And when he realized this, he realized there was a niche that was not being filled. So in 2005, him and his wife dabbled in the idea of it, and their response was so great that in 2006, they dove right in and became Vanderkitten. Dave and his wife understood the value of women in cycling. They market to them in a really good way, showing how women kick ass. But Vanderkitten is not the only one that is really diving into the women-specific cycling apparel. Velocio is a new kid on the block. Owned by Christy Scrimgauer, a former professional cyclist, she saw that there was a need in the cycling apparel industry to be more specifically geared and designed towards women. They do make men's cycling apparel, but their focus is really on women's cyclists. So with social media and the internet taking companies to task for anything that they view or deem as inappropriate, sexualizing, or demeaning, and companies responding with retractions and apologies, it seems like things are getting better. But when you look at the UCI, the Union Cycliste International, which owns such races as the Tour de France, the Giro, the Vuelta, almost everything, their new contract that they signed in 2017, which will be for 2018 and 2019, has a minimum salary agreement. And for male riders, that minimum salary is 38,000 pounds. But they left the female category blank, meaning in the Tour de France, when the women race, companies do not have to pay them. This is a terrible, terrible example of how women are not respected in this sport. And it is setting the tone across the board of our sport. And if we don't change this, it is going to mean women will not be valued in this sport and they will take their business elsewhere. After all the controversy of the ad that Pinarello put up, they took it down and they replaced it with this ad. And it says, "No time to work out during the week, but I would never miss a Sunday ride with my friends. Soon I'll be able to fill the gap." The Pinarello retraction ad makes the original ad so much worse because in the ad with the man, he is saying, I can't keep up with my friends because I'm not working hard enough. I have a job, I'm doing all this stuff, I can't train like my friends can, and now I have a way to fill the gap by using an electric bike. That is saying, that is putting the onus on the man himself for not being able to keep up. But it makes it so much worse for the ad about the woman. And Pinarello and the UCI are saying in unison, women are not good enough to be in cycling. They are not good enough to do it on their own, and they are not good enough to get paid at all. Well, I think that just about covers it. The importance of women in cycling and how product manufacturers in the cycling industry need to step up their game and include women. They are 45% of the population of our sport. And as always, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. And until the next time, I hope to see you out there on the road.